Okay, so we have another project. This is a Hewlett-Packard server power supply. So I was looking for a power supply that will give me about 60-70 amps if you need it, and quiet one, and for a affordable price. And I found the video on the YouTube, which was made by, I think so, it was a BBI Idaho builder that builds the amplifiers, and he was showing how to mod this HP power supply to run like 15 volts, and he was showing the different resistors and all that stuff. So I bought some of those on eBay from the guy. This is the model DPS-1200SB A, and it shows, what is this thing? Let me see. It's a 220, okay, 220 and 240 and 110. Okay, 110 volt, 9.5 amp draw, maximum 75 amps. And if you plug this to 240, you can get 100 amps max at 12 volts. So what I'm trying to do is, and I already done one, but this is a circuit board on the side. I'll show you guys later. You just have to take the cover off, pretty much. 4 screws, 1 2 3 4, and you have to solder the I figured out he was giving different values of the resistors because they're using for the equipment that draws like 50-60 amps, and they need over 14 volts, I guess. And I was trying to get the 13.8 volts on it, same voltage as in the car kind of thing. And the BBI was showing that one resistor has to be soldered, what is this, right here to the potentiometer, to this leg, and from here has to go to this leg right here. So what I figured out is that I did one and I attached the resistor in here, and it was really big pain because this is very small. I don't know, you know, this is SMD kind of thing. See how small this is? This is very small potentiometer, so it's kind of tough to solder anything in here. I can do it, but it's kind of iffy, you know. It's like if you burn this part in here, then you're done. The whole power supply is junk. So I figured out that there is a line going right here under this resistor straight to right here, and if you ohm this between this and this point and this point is 0 ohms, so this is running straight in here. So I kind of bend it. I don't know if you can see it, hold on, kind of zoomed in. I bend the leg. Sorry for the video shaking because I'm zooming, so it's kind of hard to keep this, but pretty much I bend the leg like kind of like a step, which means I'm gonna solder that right here. I'm gonna lift it a little bit so it's not gonna touch this resistor in here. That way the point in here, it's kind of easier to get to, and it's less crucial, so it's gonna attach really quickly. And then I will solder the other part in here. And then there's another resistor that has to be installed. Well, Australia is coming. And there's another resistor that has to be soldered. I'll show you guys later when it's done. I think so they call this crowbar protection. I'm not sure exactly. It's I will give you guys link to his video, and he is explaining what happens and how this works. But another resistor has to be connected from here, it's the same point, to that second leg right here. That's gonna be 51 kilo ohm. And this one, to get 13.8 volts, I'm putting 20 kilo ohms. and according to him, this potentiometer is right here. Hold on, because I can see anything in here. Okay, this potentiometer has to be, you see this flat part at 6 o'clock, and this is the one that controls the voltage. When you move this left right, you can only twist, you can only change it like a half a volt. So this is supposed to be fully to the left. This is too small. It has to be fully to the left at 7 o'clock or 8 p.m. whatever. So I'll try to solder this right here. And I don't think so I can show how I'm soldering this thing, because I don't have the way to zoom this phone so low, because it's gonna be in front of my face. So I have to solder this thing, and then when I solder the other one, I show you what I did. And if somebody's good with soldering, you guys can do the same. And what's gonna happen is this power supply, I'm gonna show you the whole piece when it's fully assembled. It will produce up to 65 amps, 70 amps, no problem. And so this is negative bar, this is positive bar. So when I do the mod, we will get 13.8 volts in here, DC. And the switch has to be installed between this leg. So let's call this 1, 2, 3. So between first and third leg, there has to be a switch to turn the power on and off. And this will supply, my video actually got turned off, so after the mod, this will supply 13.8 volts and up to 70 amps, so you guys can run multiple radios and whatever you guys want, actually, you know. Obviously some people using this for amplifier for the ham radios and other equipment. So it's not expensive, actually. They are like, I think so, they are about $40. Those are used HP, as far as I know, HP server station power supplies, and very quiet. I mean, if you're gonna run 60 amp don't stop quite a bit, so the fan will be a little bit noisier, but overall this thing is pretty quiet. And I will probably show on a video when I'm running this thing and pulling 60 amps. So BBI, I think there's a channel BBI. His channel is named BBI. Is an Idaho builder guy. He showed that, so I like to thank him for that. And I just came up with this, and maybe there's another video showing exactly where to point this, because I don't like, I was kind of afraid that I'm gonna burn this again in this spot, and looks like this one is much easier to get to. So that's the idea, just to mod the HP power supply. And according to him, this mod works for this model number. I have no clue if you get some different model number if it's gonna work or not. It has to be DPS-1200SB A. Sometimes they sell this as this number, I think. So eBay right now, I think so, they're like $40. So if you get this for $40 and you do the mod, that's pretty cheap power supply. That will give you 60-70 amps max. Alright, I'm gonna solder this, and I'm gonna show you later the other one also where it's supposed to be soldered, and we see what's the output on it. Here we go. This is a tedious job, man. Oh, this cell phone is zooming. I can't keep the zoom on it. I soldered that leg in there. go. We got that one. Okay. Maybe not the best solder, but it's gonna hold. Okay, I don't know, we'll see. A little bit of flex, flukes, whatever they called it. Let's see what happens in here now. This cell phone actually, every time I put something in front of it, it kind of zooms out, which kind of sucks. But, well, this is gonna be fun. So we got it. Okay. All right, so we got 20 kilo ohm, and this cell phone kind of sucks. Yep, it zooms whatever it wants to. So anyway, we got that one. We got that one in here. Now we're gonna have to solder another one. Okay, it looks like none of the components are attached by the leg. And when here, 20 kilo ohm to, wow, that's so hard. It's gonna go right here. Instead to this leg right here, I just solder right here. And now I'm thinking, I don't have a shrink tube, but putting a shrink tube over this whole thing would be better. I'm gonna have to put some kind of tape under, so it's just to make sure it's not touching, or I'm gonna have to resolder this and maybe get the shrink tube or something, but for now it's okay. I will have to solder another resistor, which gonna go, I was showing before, from here to, I think so, it's that second leg right there. It says right here. Alright, looks like fun. Alright, so now we have to put 51 kilo ohm resistor. So I kinda cut it and bend the leg, and one side's gonna have to go, and I'm gonna have to attach this to this leg right here, and then the other side right here in the left side when those two pieces are crossing. So that's, I think so, it's for the crowbar, I think. I'm not sure if I call this crowbar, this is the right description of some kind of protection in this, but you guys be able to watch the BBI channel, who showed people how to do it, and he explains everything. So alright, let's go solder this one, and then we're gonna see if we're gonna get 13.8 volts and if we can pull 50-60 amp out of this thing. I gotta concentrate on this thing. I can't even talk. My hands are shaking. This thing is pretty small. Finally, we got some skip today. It was really quiet. So let's see what's gonna happen in here. This thing is so small, it's just ridiculous. I'm not sure if I can even hit this right, but we'll see. No, looks like we got it. Wow. Alright. It's not moving. I grabbed it. Nice. Okay, so now I have to solder this thing in here on the other side. Okay. Let's go. I'm just gonna cross it and solder it and then cut the pieces. Okay. That was scary a little bit. At least for me. I'm not doing this every day, so. Alright. Alright, I think so, we got it. That was interesting. Alright, let's go put this together. Let me pause this video. Alright, so we did attach the one part to that one leg, which is second leg. It's kind of hard to see it. It's light, kind of not so good. And sorry for the camera shaking. I mean, trying to zoom this in. There you go. So we're on the second leg, and then attached to the back of the, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The same way as BBI showed, which is on the same as in here. So this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we went to these resistors right here instead to the leg in here. And I took that wire out of this, so I put the wire back, I put the cover back, and then we're gonna fire this up. Actually, I have to put some solder in here and put the H gauge wire. So alright, I'll pause the video and we'll continue. Alright, so I put the box together. I put the switch. Just like to put the switch like this, and I attach this to the first and fourth leg. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. First and fourth leg, that's what you put the switch on. And now we're gonna put the wires. So what I do, I put the solder to the wire, and if you see, if you put the wire like this straight, it's kind of thick, it's kind of hard to solder. So what I do, I get this wire, put on a vise and smash it and then it's flat like this. Now when you put the wire in here, it's much easier to solder and looks much cleaner instead of having the bump like this. You know, this, you're gonna have a big blob of a solder, and with this it's gonna be a little bit nicer and cleaner. So alright, let me attach these wires, and we're gonna test it, what's the voltage output and amperage. And this is the info actually for people that don't do soldering very often. There's something like liquid solder flax, which is kind of liquid, and you kind of get this on the wire and soak the wires. It helps to put the solder flux inside of the wire. It's just kind of something almost like a paste for the solder. If you're soldering or welding the pipes, copper pipes, kind of the same kind of situation. You want to draw that soldering wire in, and with this, as it's so much easier. It just goes in. That's a kind of small trick I discovered a long time ago, and it works really good. And then you just use the iron gun, get the solder wire. I don't have any thicker wire. I should have the thicker solder wire for the cables, but it's okay. And then when you solder, I don't have a hand. I need a third hand for it. But I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show it, but the whole point is, this thing is drawing the solder like crazy inside. See, it's grabbing really quick. I wish I had another hand in here to show you how easy it is. It just goes in, watch. It just goes in. Well, I guess it's kind of hard to do it with the two hands, but look at this. Boom. Just kind of hold it from the bottom. It's just drawing the solder in really nicely. I know I'm kind of butchering this thing, but you guys got the point. You see, if you don't put that, or you don't have enough that flux inside of the core in a resin or whatever they call, it's kind of hard to pull that in. So I don't know, I'm just throwing this out there, so you know, more professional people, they can advise people maybe in the comments how they doing, but that's what I use, and it works really nice. Alright guys, so I have a load connected. I have an amp clamp set to 80 amp. This is the gentleman on the YouTube. This is his channel, Mr. BBI. He was showing how to do the mod, and I kind of follow his directions, and only what I did, I just changed the point where I soldered the first resistor, which was 20 ohm, and thanks to him, I was able actually to buy this power supply from the eBay and convert it and make it work. So it's the source that he showed. I forgot what's the name of the YouTube channel. eBay. They used to sell those for 20 bucks, which was cheap. Now I think so they are $40, which is still good price for the power supply that can push 60 amps. So right now it's at 13.8 volt. You guys can watch it in here. So I'm gonna put the load on it right now, and we're getting 57 amps. That's the max load I can push on my system. 13.7 volts. He was showing on his channel that he went, I think so, to 70, but 56, 60 amps for 40 bucks. I'm happy with it. and it's steady, 13.7 volts. All right, looks like the conversion worked. So there's a switch, 2 wires hooked up to the load, and you can use this to power radios, amplifiers for ham radios. I think so. One of my friends told me that on SSB, when he's using this on 10 meters, I think so, or I don't know which band he's using. He's a ham guy. He's pushing, I think so, 500 whiskey on SSB, and the draw is maybe 25-26 amps out of that. So it's nothing for this power supply. So yeah, looks like it worked. And I was actually making this power supply for my buddy in Michigan. He's Scott's Radios. He's been he's got small radio business, and he's doing alignments and all that stuff. He's got a YouTube channel too, and I got this one for him, and I converted for him. I already have one for me, so I didn't do the video, and I'm like, well, I'll do the video this time. Maybe someone who knows how to solder and all that stuff can get this power supply and have really cheap power supply for his station. Just be careful, because you know, if you guys not sure what you guys doing, then I wouldn't be recommending to touch anything inside. You gotta have some kind of knowledge about electrical and all that stuff, and soldering and all this stuff, you know. So alright, well, I like to share it. Like I say, I followed Mr. BBI channel. He showed it. Thanks to him, I got the really good power supply, which so far is working really good. 60-70 amps power supplies in the stores are like $400. There's no ham, there's no any noise. If you run the radio, there's no noise, nothing, no what they call ground loops or anything happens, nothing. They are a little bit they have a little bit of like a high pitch noise from the electronics inside, but if you put it a little bit, you know, a couple feet away from your ears, you can hear it. And there's a fan that runs automatically and raises the RPM, depends on the temperature inside. So it has like a thermistor inside, and it controls the temperature. So alright, there you guys have it. So hopefully if somebody was looking for something like this, you guys can go to his channel. I will put the links to his channel and everything, and to the eBay seller. I think so he's giving you eBay seller, so you guys can go to his website and go to the eBay seller and look for that model. I'll write the description what the model is. And yeah, this is upside down, but you guys can see it's a DPS-1200SB A. That's what has to be. There are multiple other ones which will produce 60 amps or something, you know, depends what is rated. This is 1200 watts. So if you guys get, I think so, different model that it's stating that will produce 12 volts or 75 amps or something like this, it will produce that power, but it will give you 12 volts. This modification was done so you can get the 12 volts. I can get 13.8 volts, and I think so he explains it why you have to put that second resistor to that microchip right there to fold the, I think so, crowbar protection, something like this. I'm not sure exactly, I forgot what he was explaining, but you guys can go and check his channel, and I guess it has to be done, I think so, for the power supply to constantly supply that higher amperage, so it's not going to like a protective mode or something from the voltage spikes or amperage spikes. I'm not sure. Don't you know, don't kind of, you know, bash me on the channel, because you know, I'm creating those videos actually for myself, so later if I want to do another one, I kind of remember what I did, you know, and I just made those videos public. I was not gonna do any public videos because I'm not by any means I was gonna do any YouTube professional channel or something. I'm just doing those videos mainly for myself, and if somebody can get something out of this, that's even better, you know. So I've been learning from other people. Scott's Radio Mike from Scott's Radios from Michigan, he helped me a lot, so I learned from him, and if I learn something and I do video, maybe somebody's gonna learn something, I don't know. And I'm sure there are a lot of professional people that kind of maybe laugh at this or something, but well, it is what it is, you know. This is the hobby that you mess with stuff. Be safe out there, because you know this is 110 volts and there's a lot of electronics inside, so never work on this when it's something's plugged in. So be safe with this, and you know, be careful. 73. Also, I forgot to mention, this is this sensor, which is for the fan. This is like a thermistor, was installed right here, so it was controlling more of the temperature that was coming from the servers inside of the enclosure. So since we don't have a servers, it's just open, there's no heat coming in, it's just the outside temperature, air kind of thing, room temperature, whatever is outside. I put this a little bit closer to the middle, that's where the heat kind of gets more generated, so the fan's gonna be getting better signal actually of the heat that is generated inside in here. So I just kind of glue it with the black silicone in here, so when you close it, it's like right here, and that's where the heat is kind of in this area generated the most, I guess, and it should help with the cooling. All right.